businessmen. 100 grand a week, we are the businessmen. Keeping it fly and acting all tough. The ladies love us, cause they know we're hot stuff.
Second edition. Second edition. Second edition.
Second edition, what it feels like for a guy.
Yo, dude! Welcome to Second Edition!
Manica here.
And I'm R Dizzle. And if you haven't noticed, this ain't your regular episode.
Here's the sitch. Things are about to get a little hairy.
Cause you got the flyest host up in here to show you what it feels like to be a guy.
Yeah, we got some real manly segments coming at you to turn you from little softies into manly men like us.
Check out an extreme movie,
A scruffy website,
and a Super Bowl party snack.
not to mention hang out with us.
But first, we're gonna take a break and check out some hot babes.
Sweet! These babes will bring you the news if you're up for it.
Stay tuned, bruh.
Word.
Candidates begin their campaigns in Edmonton for the upcoming election.
Canadian change will be short a penny come fall.
Two local DJs battled it out for NR92. The news begins now.
With a provincial election called for April 23rd, politicians are canvassing neighborhoods, drumming up support.
Party leaders hit Edmonton streets earlier this week to kick off their campaigns. Alison Redford, Alberta's premier, seemed confident in her ability to lead the province.
The most important thing that Albertans want is leadership, and they want honest leadership, and they want people to be straightforward and direct, and that's what I'm going to be.
Redford toured 124th Street in Edmonton Glenora. After losing this riding by less than 100 votes to the Conservatives, Liberal leader Raj Sherman believes his party can take back the former Liberal stronghold.
I'm quite optimistic about the election. We have two right-wing conservative parties who want to privatize healthcare, and they're going through a very nasty divorce.
The Conservatives have held Alberta for the last 4 decades, but early polls show a close race.
The Alberta Students' Executive Council released a platform to help Albertans pursue higher education. Opening Doors was created to guide government policy to reach out to groups underrepresented in post-secondary.
We know that people who go to post-secondary not only help themselves, but they help their families, they help their communities, and they help the economy.
NATE's Timothy Jobs said politicians seem receptive.
If we can communicate some of the gaps that exist in the system right now, we think that people will be listening during this election.
Alberta currently has one of the lowest enrollment rates of all of the provinces.
As of this fall, the Royal Canadian Mint will no longer be producing pennies because the coins cost more to make than they are worth. NATE students seem to feel the change makes sense.
Well, actually, I hate the penny. I've been saying they should do it for a while, so I'm very happy that they're doing it.
I think it's going to make carrying change a lot easier and more efficient in, businesses, so I think it's a good thing.
I thought it was completely irrelevant in the first place. Like, having a bunch of change in the bottom of your pocket sucks anyway, so might as well round it off to 5 cents, nobody really cares.
Each penny costs about 1.6 cents to make, and the move is expected to save Canada $11 million a year.
NATE is one of 10 schools who participated in a friendly competition this past weekend to see who could save the most power during Earth Hour. NATE came in first place the last 2 years in a row.
I don't know, I was at my friend's house and just lit candles.
But fell to the 9th spot this year.
To be honest, I kind of forgot about it when the time came to do it.
Other spots around Edmonton participated in the Earth-saving hour by dimming their lights. Local hotels like the Hotel Macdonald also partook in the good cause with candlelit dining rooms and green stay options for guests. Earth Hour is organized by the World Wildlife Fund and was created to expand awareness about climate change. The event originated in Sydney, Australia in 2007.
The 13th annual Run Wild for Wildlife fundraiser was held Sunday by the Wildlife Rehabilitation Society of Edmonton. Participants braved the weather and came down to Hawrelak Park for a 5-kilometer run or a 2.5-kilometer walk. Despite the slush and snow, the runners were optimistic.
It was
better than I expected it to be. It was really cold and getting up this morning, but it turned out to be really nice, and I was wanting to take off layers throughout the race, so it was nice and refreshing for a Sunday morning.
The nonprofit organization directs their funds towards caring for orphaned and injured wildlife and educating youth.
One more lap.
With about 250 people registered, the group is hoping to raise $30,000.
The Nest was brought to life by the stylings of 2 local DJs, all in support of NR92, NAIT's campus radio station.
What is it?
DJ Tomas and DJ Justin faced off against each other to showcase their talent. DJ Tomas demonstrated his skills by spinning his records, while DJ Justin was at a slight disadvantage since he is used to using CDs. DJ Alize judged the competition and declared Tomas the winner.
But it was nice knowing that, someone that's been kind of familiar with what I do, judging it, rather than, someone that didn't have a clue. So that made it, and it was a compliment knowing that he kind of came up to me and said that he liked what I was doing and he liked my scratching and all that.
The Nest and Blackbird Music teamed up with NR92 to promote the event.
So Adam, I hear the Rush are in the middle of a heated playoff race.
Yes, they are, Claire. We've got some highlights of that game. We've also got judo and bowling. Can't forget that. All that and more coming up in sports. The Edmonton Rush are in the middle of a major playoff race, and a victory against Minnesota over the weekend would move the team within 1 win of the final playoff spot. The game got to such a fast start, our cameras narrowly missed Zach Greer's 21st goal of the season, only 9 seconds in. Edmonton kept their momentum rolling as Greer scored yet again to add to what was a 3-0 lead for the home side.
The Swarm just couldn't stop Greer as he finished off the hat trick, netting his 3rd goal of the game and helping the offensively challenged Rush get 8 goals in the first half.
However, Minnesota came back from an 8-4 halftime deficit as Tyler Haas netted his 2nd goal of the year as the Swarm tied it up, sending the game to overtime. In the extra frame, Aaron Wilson played hero for the Rush, scoring the game winner as the Rush took an 9-8 overtime win, putting them 1 win behind Minnesota for the final playoff spot. Edmonton goaltender Aaron Bold sees the playoffs isn't far away from the team.
We feel like we're, kind of putting one step in front of the other and getting a little bit of momentum, so that's definitely good.
The Rush play Toronto on Saturday. The Rock will be a tough test for Edmonton as Toronto won the NLL championship last season. Alberta's top junior hockey teams are battling for the Enerflex Cup, and the semi-final series between the Spruce Grove Saints and the Fort McMurray Oil Barons headed to a Game 7. The game went to sudden death overtime, and John Dunbar scored the series-winning goal for Fort Mac. The Oil Barons will advance to the AJHL Finals, where they will duel the Brooks Bandits for the Enerflex Cup. West Edmonton Mall's Ice Palace was host to a competition that brought self-defense to the mat. The International Judo Championship took place in Edmonton this weekend. Competitors used their skills to knock each other to the floor, aiming to win medals in one of the most important judo matches in North America. Tournament director says the Judo Championship allows all ages to compete.
The great thing about this tournament is we have kids from 6 years old to 65 years old competing, and that's kind of unique for a sport. Most sports you don't get a lifetime of sport, and in judo you get that lifetime.
The tournament wrapped up on Sunday after a weekend of exciting battles. A local bowler is heading into the national stage. Julie Robko has been in bowling for 8 years, but for the first time in her life, she will be heading to the YBC Nationals. Julie admits she got emotional when she first heard the good news.
Extremely overjoyed. I started crying. My mom had to comfort me pretty bad because I was like, oh my God, I'm going.
Julie will be looking to strike on the opportunity May 5th to 7th in St. John's. That's it for sports, but before you go, I've got one question to ask you. Did you know?
Did you know? First female ever to become a legal doctor in Britain posed as a man? In 1813, Margaret Buckley changed her name to James Barry and dressed like a man to get into medical school. She fulfilled her dream and worked as a military surgeon. She pulled off being a male doctor for 51 years, and her true gender wasn't discovered till after her death. Did you know of the woman that participated in the Russo-Swedish War specifically to find her husband? Talk about committed love. Shortly after her husband shipped off to war, Britta Nilsdotter enlisted with the alias Peter Hagbert because women weren't allowed to be soldiers. During a battle, the commanding officer called Hagbert. Both her and her husband stepped forward. Success! She found him. They kept her sex a secret until she was wounded. After the war, she received a medal for bravery. Well, now you know.
Gotta ask that shorty out! No, man! Oh, guys like us can't ask out a classy girl like that. But then how do I get close to her? Social media!
Social media in the political world has taken off. With an estimated 17 million Canadians using Facebook and almost 5 million using Twitter, politicians like Alison Redford and Danielle Smith are taking advantage of this technology for the upcoming election.
I see some candidates, some parties using social media better than others in the sense that they're really engaging people. I think Wildrose Party is doing a fantastic job in their Facebook profile page. Just in the last week, they've gone from 7,700 people liking them to over 16,000 people liking them.
And while social media can be a great tool for politicians to engage with the public, there can also be negative consequences. Premier Alison Redford found her campaign sidetracked last weekend when an aide from her camp tweeted an insensitive remark about Wildrose leader Danielle Smith. Alison Redford apologized to Smith and the aide lost her job as a result.
Social media in politics is the same downside to social media for all of us. And that is, you can say silly things that will offend people, and that's probably the wrong thing to do.
Discussions on Twitter regarding the election have grown substantially over the past week. The Wildrose Party is leading the social media race, with the NDP trailing close behind. Following them are the Liberals, PCs, and Alberta Party.
With the election slated for April 23rd, social media experts like Ray Bilodeau are anxious to see if 140 characters are enough to win an election. Wayme Teeter, 2nd Edition News.
Dude, why are you shaving your stash? I wanted a younger look for my hosting gig at Ernest. We're making guacamole after the break. Righteous, man. Hey, your stash is on the floor. It's getting away! Chase it! See you at Ernest in a bit.
You're in the dark. Wake up!
Listen to NR92 and stay connected with your campus. Give a hoot! NR92.com, the station for the students.
Big Rock. Fulfill your fantasy.
My NR92 is sexy.
Sexy and I know it.
My NR92's country.
The chef got stuck.
My NR92 is urban.
Lose itself in the music.
NR92.com.
The station for the students.
welcome to Cooking with Ernest. My name is Rianne McDonald-Zwicker, and we're joined today by Chef Roberto Valencia. So we have some mashed up avocados here already. What exactly are we making?
We're making guacamole.
Guacamole. So if you're having some barbecue with some friends on the deck, this will be a perfect appetizer, right?
Well, yeah, right now that it's summer coming, this is a perfect side dish.
So what exactly do we add first?
Well, first we add this garlic that it has been chopped.
Chopped up. If you don't have chopped, can you just use like powdered garlic?
Yeah, powdered garlic would be a great substitute. And we start just by mixing everything. We'll add a little bit of red onion.
So why do you use red instead of the white onion?
Well, the red is a little bit softer in flavor than the white one.
It has such a more potent smell to it. I figured it would have been stronger.
Oh, no, it's softer actually.
This is looking really good so far.
Yep. So then after that, we'll add a little bit of jalapeno.
If you don't like such a kick, can you use a softer or a less
Yeah, you can
strong?
always use like Tabasco sauce. We'll add a little bit of tomato.
Ooh. Is it just fresh tomato?
Fresh tomato. We'll squeeze a lime. Just to give a little bit of acidity.
And so, can you add anything else to add any extra kick to it?
Well, if you want it creamier, you can always add heavy cream or whipped cream.
A little
salt. A little bit of pepper.
Awesome.
Mixing it, and we'll finish with a little bit of cilantro, fresh cilantro.
What does the cilantro add?
It's just flavor.
Well, this is looking delicious.
Well, yeah, it's a Mexican dish.
What do you serve with it?
Well, you can always serve it with tortilla chips.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chef Roberto, for teaching us how to make guacamole. This has been Cooking with Ernest.
Did you find your stash? Yeah, right there. Right where I want it. You missed out on some really tasty guacamole. Dude, you destroyed your stash! I can easily replace it with my little secret. Beards.org!
Grow a beard.
You've just entered beard growing country at beards.org, a site made by manly men for manly men to be. Here, you will find all you need to know to turn that peach fuzz into something the ladies will remember. You'll learn how to go from looking like an average Joe to a rough and tumble dude in 3 easy steps. Step 1, commit to the beard lifestyle. Step 2, stop shaving and start growing. Step 3, maintain and enjoy. Is your scruff a bit on the wild side? No problem. The site is jam-packed with grooming and coloring tips. Learn if shaving really does make your beard grow back thicker or not. To keep tabs on the hottest furry fashions, check out the style chart and discover all the different ways you can customize your beard. Click on an image to get all the facts about that style and view real-life examples. If your beard is patchy or itchy, don't be discouraged. Snag some inspiration at the Success Stories page, where you'll find that there's a story behind every beard. Remember, even the thickest stubble started on a bare face. When you're ready to see the best of the best, head over to the Featured tab, click on a Hall of Famer to read his interview, and learn how being bearded has changed his life and what it means to him. Christopher here says his beard expresses where he is in life's journey. Who knows, but following the tips on beards.org, one day you might be right up there on the Featured Beards page yourself.
Nasty, bro. I know a movie even sicker than that burp.
Jack, why do you have to die?
Oh, we weren't watching Titanic. We were doing manly stuff, like playing lacrosse and taking our shirts off. Yeah, what we were doing.
What the heck?
But we're not as manly as Steven Seagal in Under Siege.
Check it out.
It was the final voyage of
Under Siege is a 1992 film about a U.S. Navy ship, the USS Missouri, that has been taken over by terrorists, led by Tommy Lee Jones, who have plans to take all the nuclear warheads that are on the ship to sell.
The terrorists lock up every soldier but one, as they are unaware of Casey Ryback, who is on the ship, a Navy SEAL turned chef played by Steven Seagal, who finds out what's going on and starts kicking some serious butt.
Without a doubt, Dylan, Seagal shows that chefs can do more than just chop up carrots.
Under Siege is one of the better action movies out there, and it holds its age very well.
Under Siege.
We give Under Siege 5 chef hats out of 5.
Oh no, Dill! We're under siege! What are we gonna do?
Boom, well, Ryback would be proud of us. Just another day in the life of dudes who enjoy kicking butt.
Dude, that guacamole just went right through me. That story about the woman that went to war to find her husband went right through me. Right to my heart. Don't get all sentimental on me, bro. Oh, I mean, Under Siege was wicked.
Real men don't talk in the loo. You're imposters. Second edition next week will be better. It'll be a British episode.
Ew, he didn't wash his hands. But man, he was hot.